Here is everything we know about Dragon Quest's 40th anniversary announcements. Dragon Quest XII is actually coming, except it's not what you think. Flames of Fate was announced 5 years ago today, and this was going to be a dark, mature storyline that intrigued so many of us, myself included. However, that has been completely scrapped, and the entire redevelopment has been restarted with no release date or even a rough time frame of completion. Dragon Quest XII Flames of Fate hit many hurdles during development, and thanks to Yuji Horí's input, they've decided it would be best in order to restart completely to make sure this feels like what a mainline Dragon Quest should feel like. In other words, Yuji Horí didn't like it, so he made them restart. But here's what we do know about this new game. It's the story of a young hero who's beset by strange visions in his sleep. Beyond his dreams might be a world of darkness and a bright and exciting future. Unfortunately, the game has gone in a different direction to the one they originally announced, but Yuji Horí thinks we're going to love it. And the bittersweet moment, it is confirmed that Dragon Quest XII, like every game before it, will come with Akira Toriyama characters and Koichi Sugiyama's music. I would most likely expect a tribute to them both in the end credits. Now, we know what it actually is. Let's see what it actually looks like and break down this trailer, shall we?
Okay, let's go.
Dragon Quest XII Beyond Dreams opens in a very bright and colourful kingdom, very different to what we saw in the previous trailer. The caves are pristine, the cities and towns look pretty, far more detailed than any other Dragon Quest game that we've had before. And then we see the new hero, the new protagonist to carry Dragon Quest for likely the next decade, and most likely the final hero we will ever see before Yuji Horí will pass away. He looks so chopped.
What the hell?
Someone told me the main villain must be his barber, because what on earth is this? Just what? Okay, anyway, the gameplay is subject to change, however this looks very, very good. The movements are extremely fluid, especially when you compare it to the running in Dragon Quest XI. We see a forest area, a beach area, and a sandy desert, and we get our first look at this new world with new monsters in this brand new game engine. This Dragon Quest is going to look like nothing we've ever seen before, and it's confirmed we're going to have so much we've never had before.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
We did, however, also see new characters that will be introduced later on, but for now we see a young woman who is likely a technician due to her hoverbike she rides, her robot companion, and, well, the fact we see her building some big machine. She also has a small tattoo on her left arm, which could have implications for the story later on. She overall looks much better than the hero, but the next character intrigues me. We've never ever had a main side character who is a monster. Well, I think he's a monster, half human, half monster maybe. And no, not Sorrow, I mean one that actually looks like a monster. But he's also being celebrated as he wears some armor in this world's kingdom, perhaps he's of royalty. We do get to see the chopped hero fight a new monster, which opens up the question of how many monsters will be in this game. And speaking of the chopped hero, I really hope we can get customization or they change it, because what is this? One of my subs made a good point to me, that Dragon Quest XII was most likely aiming for the same mature feeling of Final Fantasy in order to try to break out to a Western audience, and we all know that wasn't the success that Square Enix thought it was. And besides, I think that since DQ3 HD2D released and was wildly successful, Square Enix now believes that they can break Dragon Quest out in the West without compromising what Dragon Quest actually is. And if you do want to know what makes Dragon Quest so special, go and watch my 50-minute 40th anniversary retrospective of the entire series. Dragon Quest XI came out in 2017, and this is the longest jump between mainline games in all 40 years. And now it's going to be even longer. But there is something that will come before, something that really excites me, and Dragon Quest Monsters Withered World is my favourite announcement here. A new Dragon Quest Monsters game set in the world of Dragon Quest V, with the main protagonists as Bianca and Nera as children. Now what intrigues me about this title is the time frame. Bianca and Nera were both seen as children in Dragon Quest V, which means this game could only be set during the 10 years the hero spends as a slave. Dragon Quest V is Yuji Horí's favourite Dragon Quest game, and he's deliberately chosen it to be the world of the new Monsters game, I think for a reason. I believe he must be setting up hype for Dragon Quest V HD 2D. If I was him, I would be aware that Dragon Quest V is not very accessible and not very known much by a modern audience, and since being his favourite, it makes sense to drop a new game in that same world in order to be an introduction to new fans. And for those who do already know the game, 99% of us absolutely adore it. I think I love it a bit too much. That's unhealthy. That's a lot of videos on this game. Anyway, just yesterday, Square Enix announced that Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 HD 2D sold a combination of 4 million copies worldwide, and that is nothing to frown upon. Every single fan and executive must be applying pressure to remake the Zenithian trilogy next, which is perfect timing for Dragon Quest Monsters Withered World. This title also has no set release date yet, however Yuji Horii did say he hopes for it to be released before Dragon Quest XII. Oh, and there's also Dragon Quest XI for Switch too. But there's no actual additions, just an optimization mode to prioritize graphics or performance, and everyone in the right mind should pick performance unless you're taking a photo. So this is fun, sure, but this isn't really substantial. Even Square Enix don't think this is substantial. They didn't even show it in the livestream celebration. They just silently dropped a trailer for the Switch 2. And I know what everyone's thinking. I've spoken to so many of my amazing subs over the last couple of days about this announcement. I know we all had major excitement, and many of you are understandably disappointed. So many of us wanted an announcement for the Zenithian trilogy remakes, a Dragon Quest VIII remake, or even Dragon Quest IX. I wanted Dragon Quest X localization, and I was expecting so much more. DQ7 Reimagined was just randomly announced. But on Dragon Quest's biggest celebration of the decade, we understandably expected much more. But look, it's okay, we still have so many games to look back on, and surely there's something out there from Dragon Quest you haven't played yet. But look, okay, I refuse to end this on a sad note. We gotta look at Dragon Quest XII Beyond Dreams and a new Dragon Quest Monsters game set in the best world possible for this. This is still exciting, so let's be hype for what's coming and enjoy it all the same. Make sure to like and subscribe to help out this Dragon Quest channel. I'm aiming to take this to the very top, and something I'm confident you haven't heard of or seen of before is the Dragon Quest Erdrick Trilogy prequel. Now, I have begun translating this, and the very first never-before-seen episode is out now on the Questers channel. We are working on bringing this incredible story to you over the next couple months, covering every single volume. Go and check that out now. See you next time.